welcome to the Joy Fantasy Football Show, and of course, it is Merry Christmas, and I have to wish you a home Merry Christmas wherever you're watching from. Hopefully, we do not just see some greens under your Christmas tree, but also in your FPL as you get those points. But I'm your host, Owuraku Ampofo, and on today's show, we're going to be doing a little bit of analysis where we compare the cost and benefit analysis of, keeping Digne or, rather going for Alonso or vice versa, keeping Alonso and getting rid of Digne. But Digne has proved to be a very, very beneficial force in the past few game weeks. So he could be a differential that we'll look at, and it's something that has been going on in the minds of a lot of fantasy Premier League managers. So my FPL experts, that's Enoch and Kojo, they will be breaking this down as to who you should stick with in the upcoming game weeks. So you're back after this. Welcome back, and we're still on the Joy Fantasy Football Show. And yeah, Digne Alonso, a comparison that has been going on for some weeks now. Now I think it's time to settle this little debate, and it would always be best to do this with my FPL experts, my ever consistent experts. And Kojo, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
A good Christmas you're having so far?
Yeah, we'll see how far it goes.
And how are you doing?
I'm good.
How's your Christmas been?
So far, so good.
Any plans?
Christmas with the orphans.
With the orphans? Oh,
yeah.
That's great news to hear. Now, let's go into the thick of affairs. And we know that Digne is 5.1 million and Alonso is 7 million. Yeah. That's a very, very big gap. Yeah. A gap that has been expressed in terms of the number of points. You know that Digne has almost 60 points and around there, and Alonso over 100 points. It makes sense, over 50 points gap. But if we do a closer analysis and look at how close they have been in terms of just the previous game weeks, it does bring some point of concern. Now, you have Digne. Do you think it is best to keep him, or in the long run, you see Alonso overpassing him?
Fun fact, I bought Digne when he cost 4.8 million, so I've been benefited by it was 0.35.
That's a lot of value there.
Yeah, and one thing with Digne is that at home, that's where it comes to life, because he's got most of his clean sheets at home, he's got most of his assists at home, he's got his only goal at home. And Everton have a good run of fixtures coming up, and Digne will give you the points.
Well, you speak of his only goal, and that came from a set piece. Now, Alonso's mantra over the past season has been set pieces. A lot of reasons why a lot of people go in for him. But Digne brings that extra bite because he's not just on free kicks, but he's also on corner kicks. So isn't that an extra bit?
Well, Digne has taken over from Leighton Baines, when Baines, we know, was their captain. He was their free kick taker. He was their corner taker. And now it's Digne. So he's in charge of the set pieces. His deliveries are top notch. He most of the time he finds Richarlison, and we know that Richarlison will turn your chances created into a goal. Yeah.
So that is the point for Digne. But let me come to you. I know that you have Alonso and you have no plans of selling him soon. And you look at the creativity value of these two players, and at the moment, Digne is almost twice as Alonso. That means that he's creating twice as much, and that could be due to the fact that he's playing set pieces and all that. But do you see this as an unsustainable amount of form from Digne? And there's this saying that form is temporary and class is permanent. Do you see a typical scenario here?
So I would say Alonso is very classy. You have to keep Alonso simply because of the fact that Chelsea has a very good defensive team. We have, with the defense, you have David Luiz and Rudiger. So Everton has just only 4 clean sheets, and Chelsea has 8 clean sheets. Projectively, you say that Chelsea are going to keep clean sheets going forward because their fixtures are relatively easier. They've already played Brighton, where they kept it. With Brighton they couldn't keep a clean sheet. That's understandable. But then going forward,
how is that understandable? They couldn't keep a clean sheet against Brighton.
Yeah, well. The goal wasn't a goal that was predicted, or it wasn't a goal.
I know, but almost all of Chelsea's goals conceded this season have been against the round of play, and that can be attributed to the lack of concentration from David Luiz, especially. He has caused a lot of goals, and Sarri is going to keep on trusting him. So shouldn't we expect these kind of goals every other game week, which can be very frustrating for you if you have these Chelsea
That is what I was thinking, and that's what I've been looking at. But then look at what happened against Man City. I think sometimes David Luiz forgets himself that he's on the pitch, and that's going to the festive season where he's going to play more matches, he's going to get tired. And now Christensen is being introduced into the game. There is going to be a time that David Luiz is going to sit down.
You think so?
I think so. And then when Christensen comes in, or even Ampadu comes in and partner Rudiger, what's going to happen is that they are going to start keeping the clean sheets. For me, Digne and Alonso, one has 4 clean sheets, one has 8 clean sheets. One is in the top 4, one is struggling to come up into the top 4, even break into the top 6. What is going to happen is, yeah, Digne is good. He's on corners, he's on set pieces. But when Alonso is giving you the points, you and I know when Alonso is giving points, he doesn't give the 6 and the 7s. He gives the 11s. You get it? He's either scoring, and the good thing about Alonso is that he's on that flank with Hazard, and their understanding is top notch. And I don't see what is going to convince me. Maybe the price, maybe the 2.1 million difference. That's the only thing that, because I can get that to finance my attack or midfield. Apart from that, looking at the two teams, I don't think I'll go for Digne. I think I'll maintain Alonso.
Well, the thing with Digne is that he didn't. We all know he didn't start the season.
Okay.
And as of now, he has more than 50 points already,
Yeah.
and that's coming from a consecutive run of games he played for Everton. And the fact that he has a, let's say, 50-plus points gap with Alonso,
Yeah.
it shows you that there's potential value in Digne.
Yeah.
Well, I get you, but the truth of the matter too is that Alonso looks like he's tired. So let's say Alonso is well rested. Now that we've been playing a lot of matches, League Cups, where Alonso will be rested and come in later on to play, Alonso will come in more rested and then ready to fire. When Alonso is firing, let's face facts, when Alonso is firing, can it be compared to Digne?
But let's be real. Alonso
Okay.
hasn't been himself in the past 3-4 games.
That's what I'm saying, that he's tired.
You think he's tired?
I think
But
he's
can
tired.
you afford to have a 7 million player rested in a Premier League game?
Well, you can't. That's why you have to get a very good bench.
Especially when you are in an FPL Cup, when you require a lot of points from your high-priced players.
I think you are trying to convince me here. But then, well, let's see what happens. I'll keep Alonso for the next 2 game weeks. And if Digne is still in form, as my brother is saying, then I think I'll go for Digne.
Well, I think we get a cue here as to who may have just won that little debate. Trying to, submissively give in a little that he may consider Digne in future. But I think, you look at Chelsea, you look at Everton, and in the long run, you can argue that Chelsea may have more clean sheets. But I think attacking-wise, the difference between Digne and Alonso is very minimal, and it's not as big as it should be. So 5.17 million, that's a gap that maybe you can decide. I don't want to call anything here.
Yeah.
I give you the chance to explain. And yeah, it's down to our viewers to decide whether you stick with your Digne or you stick with Alonso. But wherever your instinct is, you go with that. Now let's go into our captain picks.
Yeah.
And Harry Kane. Christmas is for Harry Kane, as we keep on saying. Now he plays Bournemouth at home. And although Bournemouth are a good side, whenever they face these top 6 sides, they tend to struggle.
Well, what I'm going to say is that for Tottenham, the need for them to stay in the top 4. Now, United have a new coach. United want to play in the Champions League. For United, they know the dream for the league is gone. So now what they are going to focus on is in Europe. They are going to think they can break in. Now what's going to happen is that Pochettino has to talk to his boys. And if he's going to talk to anyone at all, that's going to be the captain, and that's Harry Kane. We all saw what Salah did to Bournemouth. And I'm seeing that with Kane against Bournemouth again. Kane is going to get a hat-trick against Bournemouth.
Well, that very, very bold prediction.
Yeah.
So about that. But you mentioned Salah versus Bournemouth, and Salah, he's our next captain pick. Now he plays Newcastle away, a team that defensively haven't looked so good this season.
All I'm just going to say is Salah at Anfield, in front of the cup, versus Newcastle, who have kept 1 clean sheet in the last 3 or 4 games.
It sounds very pathetic here.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Well, a lot of goals expected from Liverpool, and we know that Salah is goal hungry, so he's definitely going to be in there. Now, Sterling, he goes away to Leicester City. A very tricky pick, as we don't know whether Pep Guardiola may start him or not, but you do get that sense that Sterling is arguably his best player this season, and he would love to start him, especially considering the fact that he didn't get the much sorted after result against Leicester in the League Cup. Although he won, you know, he didn't get what exactly he wanted in terms of the play. So do you think he'll go with his best foot forward and start Raheem Sterling?
He's going to start Sterling. One thing I know about Pep is that he always wants to put fear in their next opponent. Now Leicester is going to play with this belief that this was the team we held for 90 minutes. It took them penalties to take us out. So now Pep is going to send a message. He's going to send a message to Leicester that, listen, that game I started with the Phil Fodens, but this one I'm coming with the Sterlings, the Sonnies, and Kevin De Bruyne, and it's going to be a massacre. Sterling is going to kill. City is actually going to kill Leicester.
So 2 massacres that we're expecting. That's Liverpool against Newcastle and Man City against Leicester City. Wow. We do hope for that though, because it would be good for a lot of FPL managers. Now let's conclude on someone that I think may be a differential captain pick. That's Richarlison against Burnley. Burnley have shipped in a lot of goals, especially at home. You know, the likes of Newcastle went there to get 2 goals. Liverpool got 3 goals. And you don't see Everton struggling for goals, especially at Burnley.
No. The only reason why Everton have been strapped for goals recently is because they've been facing the big sides. Yeah. And now they face a side who is of lower quality than them. And Richarlison was able to hit a few goals these few game weeks, and I expect him to score again.
You're expecting to score again. So finally, gentlemen, your personal captain pick for the game week?
Well, I'll have to go for Kane, my hat-trick captain.
Harry Kane. Who'd you go for?
I might go for Digne.
Digne. Whoa, that's
bold.
That's a bold call. Remember, you know, he was backing Digne for in favor of Alonso, and wow, that's a very bold call. Considering that they go away to Burnley, so that means that they don't have to concede, and Digne probably has to assist or score. Something that's not too far from him. But if you want to take the risk, you can go with Kojo. You know, Kojo is a very high risk taker when it comes to FPL. And sometimes he yields some good results. And that would be it for our Boxing Day episode of the Joy Fantasy Football Show. Hope we gave you our form of gifts. That was our captain picks. And hopefully things do go on your FPL and you get a lot of points. But hope to see you again same time next week. Don't forget the deadlines are getting tighter, so you should always keep an eye out on your FPL app. See you same time next week, and up until we meet again, always remember, Fike Lindo, which basically means stay beautiful.